Today we're going to talk about adding additional peripherals to the Ultrasync HUB. As you know, when you order an Ultrasync HUB from securityallstar.com, we do something called professional provisioning for self-installation. We provision all the sensors to the panel for you in advance so that when you open the box, all you have to do is plug the panel in and then just mount the sensors. But you might say, what happens if down the road I want to add some additional sensors? Well, we'll send the sensors directly to you and you can provision the sensor. And that's what we're going to do now. Here's a micro door window sensor, the standard sensor that we send out when we send you the Ultrasync HUB in our packages. So I'm going to open this box. And inside the box, this is the way it comes. Of course, the directions, throw those away. No, you can look at the directions. But I'm going to go through those with you verbally. And here is the door window sensor. And there's a little package in here. And if we open up this package, what we've got is the contact, the magnet. And we've got some screws and we've got some self-adhesive tape. So you can see that the magnet has some screws. These screws are made to actually mount these sensors. No one really uses screws anymore because we provide you with a self-adhesive tape. You can, if you like, use screws if you want a more secure connection, but these self-adhesives work pretty well. So what I'm going to do is actually put this adhesive on this magnet and sensor. As you can see, it just peels right off. And you just stick it on, hold it down for maybe 10 seconds. Till it's on there good. And the same thing with the actual sensor itself. I'm going to take this adhesive, put it on the sensor, and then hold it down for about 10 seconds. And when I actually mount these on my doors or windows, I'll pull this side off. It's a double-sided adhesive, and I'll stick it right on. And that makes it very easy. It's what some people call in the industry lick and stick. Okay, now, but back to provisioning and getting this in the panel. So the way that we do this is you go to your panel and you find out what your current IP address is of your system. In a previous video on Security All-Star, we talked about activating your Ultrasync HUB and you learned how to connect the hub to your Wi-Fi network in your home. So this is already connected to my Wi-Fi network here. So, but I don't remember what the IP address is. So there's a very simple way to find that out. We're going to hit menu, the number 8, then the master code, and the default master code is 1234. Enter, and then 6. And then the panel, she will enunciate the IP address to us. Now, you may have changed the master code 1234 to your own master code, but either way, it's the master code. So let's go ahead and do that.
Press 1 to set. Enter your code, followed by Enter. Press menu. Press 1 to configure. IP address is configured as 192.168.1.217. Press 1 to press.
And I'm just hitting menu to shut her up. So now I have my IP address, and you should have probably written that down for your IP address. Now it's very simple. You're going to go to a web browser, you're going to enter in that IP address, and it's going to hook you directly to the panel and allow us to provision and really do anything that you want to do in the panel. Now, you can use your smartphone like I have here, and I'm just going to, Chrome is on this phone, so I'm going to hit Chrome, and it's going to come up the home page. And all I'm going to do is type in the URL, that IP address. Now, I've already pre-typed it in. It's 192.168.1217. But I would type it in. There it is. And as you'll see, a page comes up for sign in. You're going to enter your for the name, you're going to enter installer, all lowercase. The password is 9713. That is the passcode, the PIN number for the installer code for Ultrasync HUB. So 9713, and then sign in. And when you do that, you will directly connect through the Wi-Fi in your home from your device to the panel. So now I'm directly connected. The reason you want to do this, and you can do it with your laptop and any browser or any smart device like your phone is there's a direct connection. There is another way. You can go through the Ultrasync app and you can set up an installer code through the Ultrasync app by setting up another site. However, when you do it that way, you're going through the Ultrasync server. So this is better and faster and really the best way we've found to do it. And very simple. So now I'm in the panel. So now I want to add this sensor in. So the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to hit the menu button. And there's all my settings. I'm going to go down here to Settings and Advanced. I'm going to select Settings. And when I do, the first window that's actually going to come up is the sensor window, I believe. We'll see. There we go. So it says Settings Selector Sensors. And that's what we're doing. We're adding a sensor. So the way we do this, scroll up a little bit. The way we do this is going to be sensor 1. Now, because I don't have any sensors in this panel, it would naturally default to the next open sensor. So if you've already got 3 sensors on, it'll probably say sensor 4. First thing is, it's going to ask me for the sensor name. I'm going to type in front door. I'm going to call this sensor front door. And my big fingers here, front door. Okay, there we go. The next thing is it asks for the sensor type. And it's already defaulted as an entry-exit delay 1. And what that means is this is going on an entry-exit door, my front door. And delay 1 means there's going to be a 30 or 60 second enter delay. I can select several different options here, as you can see. Generally, that's the one you want to use. If this was a window, I could select, if I'm going to put the sensor on a window, maybe I want it to be instant. The second it opens up, I don't want any delay. So I would select instant instead. And you can see instant in there. But I'm going to go back since it's front door, and I'm going to make it a entry exit delay 1 right there. Next thing is sensor options. Don't worry about that. That's bypass feature. Area group, area 1 is defaulted. That's what you want. The only reason it would be a different area is if you were running several security systems out of the Ultrasync HUB. Remember, the Ultrasync HUB can actually be 4 security systems in one. So they're called areas, but area 1 is the default, and that's what we want. The next thing you're going to see is the serial number, which is going to automatically populate in a few minutes when we learn the panel in, when we learn the sensor in. But right here, this is important, voice name 1. I want the panel to not just say sensor 1, I want it to say front door. So on voice name 1, I'm going to put front, and there's plenty of different things you can pick from, but I'm going to find the word front. There it is. I'm going to select front. And then on voice name number 2, I'm going to select door. And here's door. So now when it learns in, it's going to learn in sensor 1 front door. So now I've got all this in, and that's all the information that you need to put in about the sensor. Now, we're going to go right here, and this blue learn button, I'm going to hit learn. When I do, it says learn mode is activated. Activate the learn button. Next, we're going to open this micro door window sensor. That's how it's going to activate it. So I'm going to use this little screwdriver just to kind of stick in this little corner you'll see right here. And I just open it up. And when I do, it would normally open, but you'll see it didn't. And this is why. On a brand new sensor, you don't have to open it up. On a brand new sensor, there's a little piece of tape right here. You just simply pull the tape out the first time and watch, it'll change. New device found. Click Save to store new device. Now, you'll notice if I go down here, this device has a code, and there it is. There's the serial number of this device. It populated as soon as I pulled that tape out. So, new device found, click to save. I'm going to hit save button right there. And are you sure you want to change this? Yes. I'm going to hit OK. And it should save it. Program success. And now, this is now learned into my panel.
1 front door.
And as you can see, what happened was, when I opened the sensor, it talked like that. It enunciated that it was front door. Now I'm going to show you on this magnet, there's a little arrow right here.
1 front door.
And there's a little dot right here. Those have to be touching.
1 front door.
So I'm going to hold them together for a minute, and you'll see the panel, or let's put them down right here. you'll see in a minute, the panel has the ready light because the door is closed. If I open the door,
1. Front door.
so the chime feature is on, and that's why we're hearing it say front door. And if I close the door, the ready light comes in on the Ultrasync HUB. And that's how you learn in really any type of sensor. So now, if I want to, I can just back out of this. And you'll notice if I go to menu and I go to my sensors right here, you'll notice that there's the front door and the chime is on. I can turn the chime off if I want to. And if I open it, it's not going to chime anymore, even though the ready light went off on the Ultrasync HUB. If I close it, I get a ready light, but I have no chime. So I can control individual sensors by just turning that chime on.
1. Front door.
So, in conclusion, that's how you learn in a door window sensor. And now it's in my system. So let's go back. Let's get out of my browser. Let me just get completely out of the browser. And let's go to my Ultrasync app right here. And you'll see in a moment, I've got several panels in here, but let me go down to, actually, this panel is called My Home and My Sensor. So if I open it up, we should see this one sensor now that I've learned it in. And it's ready to arm, and if I go down here and hit the right corner, there it is, Area 1 sensor front door. So I learned it in through my browser, but it's now in my app, and I can now control, arm, of course, and disarm my system. And that's how you learn in, that's the basics of how to learn in a system. Now, on these micro door window sensors, by the way, when you mount them, there can be a space of up to an inch, a little over an inch actually, and the sensor is still closed. As you can see, it's about 1 inch apart, and it's still showing ready. If I go a little more, it opens up.
Front door.
And that's interesting because when you mount these sensors, sometimes, generally speaking, the sensor should be mounted on the frame and the magnet on the door.
1. Front door.
Or I guess I should say the magnet on the moving part. It doesn't have to be that way, but that's the best way. And you can have about that much space, up to about 1 inch. Try to get them as close as you can when you mount them, but you can literally, and you can test it when you're actually mounting it because it's learned in and she's going to talk. You'll know if you're too far
1. Front door.
or if you're within range. That light goes green. And I know that even at that distance, it's saying that the sensor is still closed. And you'll see that on the Ultrasync app here. You'll see the front door is green and it's closed. It's still closed. Still closed. Not until I get about right there.
1. Front door.
And you'll see on the app it's going to show not ready to arm because the door is open. Of course, that door can be bypassed, but I'm going to close it. And that's how you install additional door window sensors. Be sure to subscribe and check out all of our videos on YouTube. And for any additional information on all of our products, go to securityallstar.com, where we provide powerful protection for everything you hold dear.